Will Chelsea do the league double over the Foxes for the first time in 5 years? Or will Leicester City take the spoils back to the East Midlands? Watch until the end of this preview to hear all of my thoughts on tomorrow's match. Hello people, welcome to my channel, welcome to another video. This is my preview for the match that will be taking place tomorrow evening at Stamford Bridge in the Premier League between Chelsea and Leicester City, with kickoff at 8 PM UK time. So what I'm going to do for you guys in terms of this preview is that firstly, I'm going to run you guys through the Chelsea team news. I am then going to give you guys my lineup based on the team news that I'll be giving you guys very shortly, and lastly I'll be giving you guys my score prediction for tomorrow's match. So without further ado, let's get straight into this preview. So we shall begin by taking a look at the Chelsea team news, and in this preview I only have one piece of information for you guys in regards to the Chelsea first team, and it concerns Andreas Christensen, Kai Havertz, Timo Werner, Callum Hudson-Odoi and Ben Chilwell, and this story explains that both Andreas Christensen and Kai Havertz are doubts ahead of tomorrow's game, and that's not good news because neither of them were able to take part in the FA Cup final on Saturday. So hopefully they are both able to at least be on the bench, but we'll have to see. But yes, they're both doubtful ahead of tomorrow's match against Leicester City. So that's the first part of the story. The second part of the story explains that Ben Chilwell has returned to training but is still unavailable. And the last part of the story explains that both Callum Hudson-Odoi and Timo Werner are out due to injury. So there's quite a lot there, but like I said at the beginning of my explanation, hopefully Andreas Christensen and Kai Havertz are available. As for the other three, we all knew that Ben Chilwell wasn't going to be available because he is going to be out for the rest of the season. Callum Hudson-Odoi has been out for a while now, so I'm not surprised at the fact that he's not back yet. And Timo Werner did pick up a hamstring injury, and he did actually have an injury. I think he picked up this injury before the FA Cup final started, so that makes sense for him to not be available for tomorrow's match, but it's still not great news. That's one of our main problems. Injuries. Too many players miss. We have too many players who miss massive chunks of the season, and that of course does play a part in how we're able to play in a given period of time. But it is what it is. That is it for the Chelsea team news. Let's move on. Now I am going to run you guys through my lineup based on the team news that I've just given you, and yes, we're going to begin by talking about my formation of choice. And yes, I've chosen to go with a 3-4-3 because we have used it really well recently, and I think it's only right that we continue to use it. As well as this, and as I've said in the majority of my videos that I've done this season, it is the formation that we've used the most this season. So for me, I do believe that we should go with it in tomorrow's game. So that's why I've chosen to go over 3-4-3. And in terms of the personnel that I've chosen to go with Edouard Mendy in goal. He has picked up a bit of form recently. He has looked good recently, so for me he deserves to play. Against Liverpool in the FA Cup final, I thought he was unlucky with some of the penalties. He did actually do pretty well in that match as well. He made some great saves. He commanded the back line really well. So for me, he needs to be in goal. In terms of the back three, I've gone with Trevor Chalobah in the right centre back position because for me, he had a great game against Liverpool, especially in the second half. That is, in the first half, he did make a couple of mistakes and got caught out on a couple of occasions, but he did have a good game overall. And for me, he does deserve to play because not only did he have a good game in not only did he have a good game against Liverpool in the FA Cup final on Saturday, he also had a really good game against Leeds United on last Wednesday, of course. So for me, he deserves to play this position. In the centre of my back three, I've gone with Thiago Silva, and the reason why I've done so is because there is a chance that Andres Christensen might not be able to play, but that is something that we'll have to see. Um, that is something that we'll have to see when the lineups come out. Um, yes, Thiago Silva has been, for me, our best defender this season. So if Andres Christensen isn't available, then I'd have absolutely no problems with Thiago Silva starting in the centre of our back three. So that's why I've gone with him there. Now to complete my back three, I've gone with Antonio Rudiger in the left centre back position. And um, again, he's been one of our best defenders this season. It's a shame that he's leaving. Um, we're gonna miss him. Um, he's it's gonna be very hard to replace him because he's not only really good in terms of his footballing ability, but his character is just second to none. It's going to be hard to find another character like him, so we have to cherish him while we still got him. But yes, I do believe that Antonio Rudiger's services will be needed in tomorrow's game because I do see it being a really hard game. But yes, that's why I've gone with him in the left centre back position, and that of course completes my back three. We move into the midfield four, and of course I'm including the two wing backs, and we're going to go from right to left as always on this channel. And in the right wing back position, I've had to go with Reece James. He also had a good game against Liverpool in the FA Cup final. First half, made a couple of mistakes, but he got better as the game went on. And for me, he deserves to play because he has been pretty good recently. And as well as this, we don't really have anyone else who has the what do I say? Yes, Cesar Azpilicueta can be played there, but Reece James is better in the right wing back position than Cesar Azpilicueta is. If Cesar Azpilicueta was to start, um, I'd prefer to see him in the right centre back position, but we'll have to see. But I've gone with Reece James in the right wing back position for the reasons that I've just given you. In terms of who I've gone with in the two central midfield positions, I've had to go with N'Golo Kante and Jorginho because there's also a chance that Mateo Kovacic might not be able to start or might not even be in the squad, and that is something that I did forget to mention when I gave you guys the team news, so I do apologise for that. But yes, there is a chance that he might not be available. I don't see Sal Niguez starting, and Ruben Loftus-Cheek might start on the bench. Who knows? But I've gone with N'Golo Kante and Jorginho because Jorginho is a player who can help us dictate play and control the tempo of the game, and N'Golo Kante is someone who has energy in spades. The guy has 5 pairs of lungs. I'm pretty sure of that. Okay, that was a joke. But yes, I think that this should be the midfield pairing for the reasons that I've just given you, because Leicester City do like to play with a lot of energy and they want to finish the season on a high note because it hasn't been the greatest season from Leicester City. But yes, I think that this should be the midfield pairing in tomorrow's game. In terms of who I've gone with in the left wing back position, I've had to go with Marcos Alonso. He has also been brilliant recently. I thought he was exceptional against Liverpool in the FA Cup final. He was unlucky to not get on the score sheet. He did have some good chances in that game. He had his shots, or a couple of his shots, just go past the post, and he hit the bar with a free kick in the second half. So he was unlucky. Not only that, he was flying down that left hand side with ease. So for me, he needs to play tomorrow's game. We're going to need that attacking threat from him. And I actually thought that he was pretty good defensively as well against Liverpool. So give him credit where it's due. He deserves to play. And he's another one who's leaving. So we have to cherish him while we still have him. But yes, that's what I've gone with in the left wing back position. And that, of course, completes my midfield four. We move into the front three. And my hands were a bit tired here in some of the positions, and I'll explain why when I reveal who I've gone with. in the right forward position, I've gone with Mason Mount. I thought he had a good game against both Leeds United and Liverpool. Against Liverpool, he was unlucky um, in terms of. Do you know what? Let me not get into it because this is the preview for tomorrow's match. But yes, he did miss the penalty. Hopefully, it doesn't have a knock-on effect on his confidence. He has looked better in recent games than he was in some of our past recent games, if that makes any sort of sense. But yes, for me, he does deserve to play because he has been really good in recent games. Hakim Ziyech did look decent when he came on against Liverpool, but I just don't see Mason Mount not starting tomorrow's game. And with the fact that Leicester City do like to play a lot of energy, I think that Mason Mount um, will probably be starting anyway. But that's why I've gone with Mason Mount in the right forward position. Up front, I've gone with Romelu Lukaku, and this is um, one of the players that I've had to pick because of the very fact that Timo Werner is out with a hamstring injury and Kai Havertz is a doubt. So it's only right that I went with Romelu Lukaku. Yes, he didn't have a great game against Liverpool at all, in my opinion. Didn't get many chances, and when he got a chance to get on the score sheet, he didn't take it. He blazed the ball over the bar. Um, but if there's no one else there, then for me, he has to play. Um, if he does play, hopefully he does a job. Hopefully he gets on the score sheet. But yes, that's why I've gone with Romelu Lukaku up front. And that's not me saying that I want him gone or anything like that. My um, assessment of his performance against Liverpool is just me being completely honest. But yes, that's why I've gone with Romelu Lukaku up front. Hopefully, if he starts tomorrow, hopefully he does a lot better than he did against Liverpool. And now to complete the lineup, I've gone with Christian Pulisic in the left forward position. For me, he had a great game against Liverpool. He got into great positions. The only thing that was missing from him was a goal. Yes, I did say he had a great performance, but he did make a couple of mistakes. And I think the most notable one that I can think of off the top of my head just now was in the first half where he got the ball in a really advanced position and he fed the ball to Marcos Alonso too late. If he is to play tomorrow, which I'm sure he will, due to the fact that we don't have too many players in the forward areas who can, or whose best position is in this position. Um, but yes, if he does play, then he has to finish his food because for me, he had our best chances. He really had our best chances. And Christian Pulisic is normally better than that with his finishing. I've seen him score from more difficult um, chances than the chances he had against Liverpool in the FA Cup final. So hopefully he does a lot better. But anyways, that's why I've gone with Christian Pulisic in the left forward position, and that is the lineup that I've gone with. Please, guys, do drop your lineups down below. And as always, I shall do my very best to respond. Here's a graphic showing you guys the players that I've chosen and the formation that I've chosen for my lineup. Let's move on to my score prediction. Now, in terms of my score prediction, I have chosen to go with a 2-0 Chelsea win because I do see this being a really difficult game. Leicester City are not an easy side to play against. Um, they have great players in their squad and they are managed by a great manager in Brendan Rodgers, so I do not see this being an easy game whatsoever. Having said that, though, despite all the injury concerns that we have just now and all the stuff that's been happening off the pitch, which the effect in which it's had on the players has been seen in different ways by many different people. We should really be looking to get this game done and dusted as quickly as possible because I believe that these players can do it. It's just up to them because, um, as you can probably tell by now, I'm really bored of saying that we're just not clinical and that we don't often kill games off because we don't. And I really am bored of it. But hopefully, that's what we do tomorrow. And that was me giving you a concise um, how do I say this? That was me giving you guys um, a concise overview of how I think we should approach tomorrow's game. But anyways, those are the reasons why I've gone with a 2-0 Chelsea win. Please guys, do drop your thoughts down below. I will do my very best to respond. That is it for this preview. I'll see you all very soon. Come on, you Blues. Come on, Thomas Tuchel. And peace. I'm out of here.